especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him. So he never
some way responsible for the performance-enhancing drugs that are being used by fighters that fought in his gym. Specifically, off the top of my head, you have Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez had popped for clenbuterol.
Canelo, man, I don't know if he's cheating.
What do you mean?
I feel like Canelo juices.
Boxing experts are accusing Canelo Alvarez of using steroids before his fight with Terence Crawford. They're concerned about how quickly he's gained muscle and are pointing to his past failed drug tests. David Benavidez has also spoken out, asking why Canelo keeps avoiding a fight with him if he's so confident. Benavidez even claimed that 5 people from Canelo's team tested positive for steroids, suggesting the entire camp, including Canelo, is not clean. These accusations are adding tension before the big fight.
Greatest Mexican boxing fights of all time, in my opinion. Yeah. So I feel like I'm 100% confident in myself. If Canelo was 100% confident in himself, I don't know why he wouldn't fight me, especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him. So he never got off.
You think about steroids?
Of course. How does 5?
You saw De La Hoya.
How do 5 people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids? Right. You know what I mean? All those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
I seen Eddie Reynoso on my fight, so we made a joke. He said like he came to watch me the fight and shit. And then they're like, "Oh, you think he's?" In my head, I'm like, "What do you think Eddie Reynoso's thinking about?" He's, "Are we gonna fight David Benavidez after seeing this fight?" In his head, Eddie Reynoso's like, "Fuck no, we not fighting him."
Yeah, of course. Honestly, I don't blame Canelo. It's fucked up because there's a lot of money.
It's not even about the money. It's not about the money.
Yeah, but okay, 100 million, dude. You think you kidding me?
The first step when you're a fucking warrior, bro, the only thing you think about is glory. I've never thought about money. I've been smart. I'm negotiating my shit. But it's always a prize, bro. It's always, if I go out there and beat Canelo, bro, I'm a legend. You know what I mean? That I'm gonna live forever in boxing as a legend. That means way more to me than any type of money.
And I think that separates you too, David. And I admire that shit about you. I was like that at one point. How much you give me?
Yeah.
and not to just bypass him. Shout out to Morel as well.
Yeah, shout out to
Morel.
Eddie Reynoso's gym is facing serious accusations. People claim that Reynoso might be giving performance-enhancing drugs to fighters in his camp, including Canelo Alvarez. Canelo has already faced steroid allegations twice before. Critics say multiple fighters from this gym have tested positive, raising questions about the training methods. As Canelo prepares to face Crawford, many are asking how he's getting so big so fast.
Pressed serious accusations about his gym. And the accusations are that people, or at least the implications are, that he is the one that is providing performance-enhancing drugs or is in some way responsible for the performance-enhancing drugs that are being used by fighters that fought in his gym. Specifically, off the top of my head, you have Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez had popped for clenbuterol 2 times. For Fahim Satur, I'll say that he did it 2 times, even though I think it was for the same fight. But Canelo Alvarez popped dirty for clenbuterol 2 times. You have Luis Nery, who had tested positive, but I think Luis Nery tested positive before he was with Eddie Reynoso. Then you have Ryan Garcia, who popped dirty after he left Eddie Reynoso and went over to Derek James. And then you have Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez popped dirty while he was with Eddie Reynoso, but at the time he was still allowed to fight. You also clearly see that you have an issue with the fight that's coming up with Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, in that you have one guy that tested positive and you have another guy that looks like he's using in order to get up and continue to climb up weight classes. You know, at a certain point in time, and this is something that Rolly Romero has said, certain point in time your body just doesn't do that. At a certain point in time, your body just doesn't do it. I'm 6'2", 200, and should weigh about 210. Closer to 250, but I should weigh about 210. I'm not gonna get up. If I was 210 now at 50 years old, I'm not. By 55 years old, I'm not. The only way I'm gonna get up to 260 of muscle is if I'm juicing.
Experts say it's very hard to build a lot of muscle naturally in your 30s. But Canelo's current body looks much bigger than before. This has caused even more doubt, especially since other fighters from Reynoso's gym also had issues. Now fans and analysts are wondering if Canelo's new strength is natural, or if performance-enhancing drugs are behind his transformation.
If for a 30-year-old, right, you remember, your body grows, men's body can grow in height and length up until to the extreme in your 20s. By the time you're 20, your height and all that stuff is there, right? Your height and your length. In your mid-20s, by the time you're 29, your musculature is pretty much there. It gets harder to gain and put on muscle after 30. So Canelo Alvarez is about to fight a guy that is going to put on 20 pounds of muscle.
Joe Rogan, a well-known voice in the world of sports, also raised concerns about Canelo. He said it's strange to see someone in their 30s gain so much muscle so fast. Rogan explained that muscle growth usually slows down with age, so Canelo's transformation doesn't seem natural. According to Rogan, changes like these are almost impossible without help. And when someone as respected as Rogan speaks out, people pay attention.
Canelo, man, I don't know if he's cheating.
What do you mean?
I feel like Canelo juices. But I'm a Triple G fan, so I'm a say that ahead of time. I just like
There's a lot of money on the line, and if I could get away with it, I would do it as well.
Some tainted beefs.
I think, well, he definitely got busted once for something, but it could have been from tainted beef. We don't know. But it also could be that, we should probably leave them alone and let them do whatever they want to do. Do you want to see Manny Pacquiao fight or not? Right? I want to see him juiced up, fighting at 45 years of age, coming in with a full six-pack, lighting people on fire.
As the Canelo versus Crawford fight gets closer, talk about steroids is growing louder. Many fans and analysts say they wouldn't be surprised if Canelo was using something. He has access to top-level doctors, nutritionists, and recovery tools. With so many resources and the pressure to stay on top, the temptation to cheat becomes very real. Critics believe Canelo's team gives him every chance to use banned substances without getting caught quickly.
What up, everybody? It's your boy MC from MCTV. I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo Alvarez is on steroids right now as we speak and is going to be fully juiced with something that hasn't even hit the market yet. Think about it. He's pretty much a billionaire. He has access to everything.
Floyd Mayweather hasn't stayed silent about this either. He's talked about Canelo and steroids before, saying people are too scared to speak the truth. Floyd thinks there's a double standard in boxing. Some fighters get protected, while others are criticized. He believes Canelo is one of the protected ones because he's popular and makes money. But Floyd says using steroids is not just cheating, it's dangerous and ruins the sport's fairness.
But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
Fans from both sides are also arguing online. Crawford supporters are questioning Canelo's size and strength, while Canelo's fans doubt Crawford's stamina and body changes. Things have gotten so serious that both fighters agreed to full drug testing before the match. These tests aren't just for the rules there to earn the public's trust. The fact that both sides felt the need to prove they're clean shows how little trust there is in boxing right now.
Canelo and Crawford are strictly and consistently doing random VADA testing in order to silence each other's fanbase and their critics ahead of their showdown this September. Now, despite this being a normal thing, the gravity of these results, partly due to the fact that suspicion regarding both have been up as of lately, namely Crawford's sudden bulk and jump to 168 and his close relationship with snack and ED scandals being associated with testing positive for clenbuterol 7 years ago due to contaminated meat. That said, both men have been doing testing since June and will last up until they finally meet that despite all the recent allegations for Canelo and Crawford, both fighters have been consistent.
Canelo didn't always look this strong. In the early days of his career, he was smaller, faster, and fought like a natural welterweight. But over the years, his body changed a lot. Now, he's not just fighting bigger guys, he's dominating. This sudden transformation has led many to ask, Is it natural? Some say it's due to hard work and great training, but others are still very doubtful.
But I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo, because like I said before, he been pitting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe, and he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it. So, so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight, at like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body, to fill into somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavier and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now, but I think he should, just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
Nico Ali Walsh, the grandson of Muhammad Ali, shared smart insights about Crawford's preparation. He said Crawford knows what he's up against and isn't walking into a size disadvantage blindly. Crawford has been sparring with bigger fighters. To get used to Canelo's strength and pressure, Walsh called this a smart and brave move. He believes that Crawford's ability to turn risk into opportunity shows why he's a great fighter. Crawford's camp is clearly planning carefully.
People with Canelo before Canelo's last fight, but then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just the build-up for that fight is just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight, and Bud is Bud. He's one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. He is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades. You can see it with his shadow boxing. You can see it.